All right, let's see what this lady got
And
going
I
on.
accidentally shot him.
She accidentally shot him.
Accidentally shot him.
Because I was standing there and I was holding it and I was shaking like this.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Karen Baragi, the wife of Alan Baragi, who was
Okay.
found shot dead in his home just hours ago. And although she will do anything to make detectives believe it was a simple accident,
Right.
it won't be as easy as she imagines.
Who called the sheriff's office?
I did.
What'd you tell him?
I told him that I shot him.
Okay.
And I killed him and I didn't want to do it.
I'm turning myself in. I'm sorry. I'm
trying to use that white card.
For killing my husband.
And I feel like such a piece of human waste. Without him, I was never going to amount to anything.
Close to noon on Christmas Eve 2011, the Hernando County Sheriff's Office received reports of a murder at a residence located in Spring Hills, Florida. But this report was far from ordinary, as with the initial 911 call, officers already found the murderer, 39-year-old Karen Baragi, who immediately admitted that she shot her own husband, Alan Baragi.
Okay.
911, the address of your emergency. Yeah, I'm turning myself in. I'm sorry. I'm turning myself in for killing my husband. Okay, why did you do this? Because I have been suffering years of mental and verbal abuse.
By the time officers arrived at the scene, they found Alan shot twice in the head on a couch in the living room.
Dang.
From the positioning of the body
She was-
alone, it
she
was
was
clear
bad
that there was
that
no resistance, as he was likely shot while asleep.
Oh.
And all that officers were left with now was the cryptic admission of guilt by Karen. Consequently, she would be brought in for questioning less than an hour later to
Funny
find
how
out
her
what
real
would lead
name
her
is
to
Karen.
kill her own husband after nearly 10 years together in this footage provided to us by the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, Florida.
I understand that there was an incident at the house. I understand what's going on. Okay, I want to hear from you, but like I said, I want to talk to you. I want to make sure that you're comfortable and you understand, you have a clear head and you can communicate with me. Okay, do you understand where you're at right now?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to do is I just want to read you your rights and I want to hear everything that you have to tell me. Okay, so I want to
Right.
make sure we're all on the same page. Okay.
Right.
You have the right to remain silent. You understand that?
Yes.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand
She
that?
wants to
Yes.
tell her
You have the
herself.
right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while being questioned. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish.
Yes.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights to not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand that? So anytime you feel uncomfortable, you just let me know.
Okay.
Okay? Do you understand what I just said to you?
Yes.
Okay, with your rights in mind, I'd like to talk with you about what happened. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to know first, what I was told first already, is the deputies responded to your house. You live at what address? Can you raise your right hand for me? You swear that everything you're saying is the truth, so help you God? Okay. I understand that we got a call from 911, and I had a sergeant talk with me on the phone, said, listen, we had a shooting at a house in Reynolds. There's a guy by the name of Alan. There's a woman that lives there by the name of Karen.
A little off topic.
There was a shooting at the house.
How the heck
Your
is Jake
parents
Paul fighting his
came
brother?
over. They said something to me in front of the house.
What?
And
I don't
just
get
wanna-
that
and
fight.
Basically, they said that what happened. I already know what happened. I just want to know why and what happened at the house.
Do you want to know the whole history?
Well, just what happened today, for starters. So I know what they're doing out there because we're at the house. We just, we're looking to see what happened.
Right.
Well, today is that he called me early this morning, and we both have paper
You
up.
say he.
Yeah, my husband.
His name is
Alan.
Alan. And what is his date of birth? So he called you?
Yeah, he called me early this morning.
Okay.
Fuck, he about to kiss her?
That's on my cell phone. And he told me that he came to the house and he dumped off all my papers. 'Cause we had
Okay.
paper routes at the St. Pete Times.
Mhm.
And we haven't been seeing each other too much the last few days.
Right.
So he told me he dropped off my papers and that he said, well, all the papers are in your car so you can go run the route. And I was half asleep, so I woke up and I walked my dogs. I took them outside.
Uh-huh.
Well, today.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was early this morning, and I
Mhm.
did my route. And then I came home and I sat down for a while, and he came into the house because he still has a key and a garage remote. And we didn't say anything to each other.
Okay.
And
Does he live there?
no, he had, well, We've been separated
For how long?
like 3 weeks.
Okay.
And this separation was for a good reason. In 2010, just a year prior, Karen began approaching men online because she was dissatisfied with her marriage.
Okay.
Over time, she became bolder and eventually cheated on Alan with his own neighbor as early as a week before the murder. This is why by December of 2011,
Dang.
Alan Baragi began seeking a new life and relationship with one of his coworkers and decided to split up with Karen. However, he hid this relationship from Karen and even kept a second cell phone to keep in touch with his new lover. But on the night of December 24th, Karen discovered this phone and several romantic texts. In response, she shot Alan in the head with a .38 caliber.
She done shot this man after cheating. Well, technically not cheating, but they were still married. But she basically couldn't swallow a pill she created.
Handgun just a few hours later. And now, she is about to twist the narrative completely to make herself seem like the victim of this situation.
I was really agitated, and I took like 4 or 5, I don't know, I think I took 4 like sleeping pills. I don't remember how many.
Okay.
Because I can't deal with him, so I went to bed.
Okay.
And when I woke up, it was like, I don't know, I woke up several times. I know I woke up around 9:30 or so.
He trying to
He was
hit.
still in the bed. He was still in the couch, and he
Okay.
was sleeping. And I had bought a gun a few days ago because he scared me. He was like verbally and mentally me, and I was afraid for myself.
Oh yeah.
So I went to go pick up the gun, and I hesitated because I didn't want it to go like this.
Okay. I understand.
I accidentally shot him.
I'll be looking her dead
Accidentally shot
in
him.
her. Oh, he
Because I
trying
was
to.
standing
I'll be
there
doing
and I
the
was
same
holding
thing.
it, and I was
Looking her
shaking
dead
like
in her
this.
eyes.
Okay.
And I didn't want to. I just felt like he had left me
Trying to
with.
use that white
Let me ask you a
card.
question. Did he? So someone said your mom said something that he just left you for another woman or something?
Yes, he left
Okay.
me for a woman at the building.
Okay.
She does the paper. She's a what they call a PC.
Mhm.
She's a product coordinator, and
What's her
She
name?
couldn't stand it.
Dory.
Dory.
I don't know her last name.
Where does she work?
She works at the St. Pete Times.
Here,
Yes.
locally.
Yes.
How old is she about?
I think she said she was 36.
Okay, you met her before.
Yes.
Okay.
We've all known each other
okay,
for
so
years.
He just recently left you for her.
Yes.
Okay.
And he told me
And I want you to be honest with me here, Karen. I want you to be honest with me on everything that you're saying.
Yes.
So that's what. So, he just recently left you for another woman. What made you take the gun out today? You pointed it at his head or his chest or what?
his head.
Okay. How close were you to him? Go ahead. How did you hold the gun?
Like right
Now,
to his
Can you
head.
describe the gun for me?
It's a revolver.
Okay.
And I
Does it have a
don't
name on the side of it or anything, or does
I
it
think
have
it
a
says
name?
Taurus.
Okay. Where did you buy it from?
Golden Pond on County Line Road.
When did you buy it?
3 days ago.
Although Karen claims that she shot him accidentally, this is absurd to believe. It just so happened that both of them were going through a divorce when she killed him, and it just so happened that she had years of pent-up anger towards Alan, like you're about to find out as Karen goes on to admit to her intent to murder.
Oh.
Has he recently? No, just being honest with. I mean, just getting some information. Has he recently hit you or made any death threats or anything like that, or just basically been arguing?
Verbal
Over-
threats.
Like, okay.
He told me that if I didn't cooperate with
Okay.
him and make life easy for him, that he would make my life a living hell because we mortgaged the house
Okay.
and I don't have a job
Okay.
and we have a loan on the car and a loan on the house
Okay.
and we have a lot of bills, and he told me that if I didn't shut up and cooperate with him, that he would make my life
Make
a
your life
living
a living
hell.
hell. That's usually what you hear. You've been around. How old are you?
I guess I'm gonna be 42 in a couple days.
You've probably met people before who've gotten divorced and split up. I'm sure.
Well,
right?
I've only been divorced.
No, I mean, I'm sure you've met people and spoke to people who've gotten divorced or split up in a relationship, right? And you've probably seen how mad people get back and forth, correct?
Yeah.
Do you understand? Have you been involved? You heard anybody yell and argue at each other when they're getting divorced or breaking up? So you understand. I understand what you're saying. You know, you guys are splitting up. He's got a girlfriend supposedly. I mean, I understand that. You bought it 3 days ago. Was he home 3 days ago?
No,
Was he home yesterday?
no,
He just came in today,
yes.
just to come home to.
Give me
To what?
Give me the papers and pack up the rest of his stuff.
Okay. So
And
he
then
came in and just laid on the couch like it was no
She
big
was
deal.
and
jealous
then
as
I
I
went
don't
to
know
his
what.
car,
Okay.
and I found that he had another cell phone,
Which car is his?
the Yaris.
She is telling on
The
herself.
Yaris, the
Right
Toyota
here.
Yaris,
What color is that?
white.
The white little round looking
Yeah.
car in the driveway?
And I looked, and he had been talking to Dory, and
Okay.
they said they were both in love with each other.
Okay.
And
How did that make you feel? If it made you feel mad, tell me it made you feel mad. If it made you feel happy, tell me it made you feel happy.
I
wanna know how
wasn't
you felt.
happy. I was upset because I had given him everything. I brought him into this country. I got him his permanent residency. I taught him a trade at my parents' AC business.
Go ahead.
We had separated after being together for 3 years.
Okay.
And I was sorry for the way things happened between us because it wasn't good.
Okay.
And I tried to make amends with him. I wrote him a letter, and he found the letter.
And at what point did you go grab that gun? You made a decision to end his life at one point today. So I understand. So I know what you are feeling and going through. I just want to know. I want to be on the same page with you. I want to be able to go through this with you.
I didn't want to end his life. I just wanted to feel like he had so much power over me that I wanted to feel like I want my power back. I want to feel like.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm asking is, at what point did you grab the gun? Was it after you looked at the cell phone and see that he was talking with Dory?
Yeah.
That they love each other?
Yeah.
Told on
And
herself.
then you
She's
went
gone.
in the house
But
and
she
you
already
got
said
that?
she was gone.
Yeah.
She said she was
And
turning
you went
herself
into the
in.
house. Where did you have to
But
go? into
yeah,
the house
that was
to get the
it.
gun?
That was it. That was
I
it.
just had to go in the bag because it was in the bag.
In a bag?
Yes.
What do you mean a bag? Like a
Well-
gun case?
No, I brought it home
Okay.
from the pawn shop, and it
Mhm.
was in a thank you bag.
But where in the house was it? You went into the house.
It was in the back bedroom.
Okay, how many bedrooms is in the house?
3.
Okay, if I walk in your front door, okay, walk in the front door.
It's
Let's
off
see a
to
little
the
bit
right.
more.
because she couldn't take it anymore and didn't want to be abandoned. It was only after they arrived back at the Baragi residence that Karen called 911 and confessed to what happened.
Right.
I pulled the trigger.
I mean,
back
the whole time
and
she
put the
confessing
hammer
about
back.
what happened.
That
So.
would be easier to pull the trigger.
Well, that is true. That is true.
Yes.
That is true. You cock it back like we've all seen in the movies. You cock it back.
But I never owned a gun. I never
Okay.
had a gun. I've never
Okay.
used a gun.
Okay.
I just.
But what do guns do when you point it at somebody and you fire it? What do you have to do to a gun to fire it?
Shoot it.
What do you have to do? What does your finger have to do?
Pull the trigger.
Okay, that is the bottom line is how a gun goes off. But I know that so they said if you pull the hammer back, like the top, the hammer, and it clicks back, it's easier to fire it. Okay, did you do that?
Yeah, but my hand was shaking like this.
Okay.
And
No, I'm saying, did you pull the trigger back? Did you pull the hammer back?
yes.
Okay.
And I kept thinking about it
This
and thinking about
This
it.
is his head. Okay. This is for what it's worth. I don't know how far away you were. This is the back of the couch, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is about the back of the couch.
Nigga, don't. Hey,
And so
man.
he's
Don't
on
turn
the
your
couch
back
laying
to her.
down.
Don't turn your
You're
back to her,
left-handed.
man.
Yes.
You picked the gun up.
Yes.
You cocked it back.
Yes.
Could you do this with your hand? Like it's a gun?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
Could you
Hey,
tell me how
man.
far away
He's about
the
to
gun
whack
was to
your
his
ass
head?
next.
I was like
You
this.
put it
She about to
right
whack
up to
his
head?
ass
Yes,
next.
and I was shaking like this.
Okay.
Because I
Did you have your finger on the trigger?
somewhat.
Okay.
I-
And then it went off.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I was scared that it went off.
Okay. So it goes off. What happened when it went off?
That he
Well, it was
gasped.
loud, number one.
Yeah, and he gasped.
So you shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah, and I was freaked out because I didn't know what I did. I mean, it's like until something happens to you,
Reality just
it
hit.
sits in.
Right.
And, you know, you think about things and you think, well, what if they could happen? And then when it does happen, you're like, you know, like that.
Damn.
And
I mean, she said she did it though, so it's like, if first she was thinking about playing around the bush, but then I guess she said, "Man, forget it. I turned myself in. I did what I did." But what's crazy to me is that she had fun with the neighbor, but then she had fun with the neighbor and then get mad because he did his little thing.
take my dogs.
I don't know what's gonna happen to your dogs. That you'll have to get with Detective Boylan about
Is there
that.
anybody that's going to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, Detective Boylan will.
And
Well.
they're not going to. And she first she made it seem like that, you know, her and Alan were just going to be friends, and then he was going to work things out between me and him. And then
You saw the text today anyway, you saw the phone messages, right?
he said, "I love you." I mean, she said, "I love you."
His job is done.
This is all so surreal for me.
Bro,
My
just
whole
think
life
about
has
you having
been
to
so
going through this
surreal.
all the time.
Of her son, Rose.
Okay. Don't worry, I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Man, if we could just have a seat right there and then we'll wait for your ride.
It wasn't only her own parents that Karen cried to like this. Later down the line, she also contacted Rosemary Baragi, Alan's mother, and pleaded for her forgiveness. Even with the loss of her son, Rosemary accepted her apology. But apologies cannot bring Alan back, and are
Correct.
certainly not enough in the eyes of the law.
Correct. So, that was it for that story, man. Guess we out.